Hi class, back again with the next part to completing the square, following the same steps. So each example has a further twist. If you feel pretty comfortable about it, what you could do is sort of pause the video now, try it out, and then compare your answer to mine. So and even skip ahead after in mine, and then you can, if we didn't get the same answer, you can go back and check. All right? So if you want to pause. Otherwise, I'm going on. So for this, following the steps, the first thing you'll do is put a bracket around the first two terms. If I'm following those same steps on the previous page, minus 13. And now we're going to factor out the a term from both of these terms. So we factor out negative 3, we're left with x squared. 9 divided by negative 3 would give us negative 3x minus 13. So then the next thing we want to do is we take this term, and remember we have negative 3, we divide it by 2, and then we square it. Yes. So that would be 9 over 4, because negative 3 squared is 9, 2 squared is 4. So we would leave it like that. So given that, we then have negative 3, and we have x squared minus 3x, and then we say plus 9 over 4 minus 9 over 4, bracket minus 13. Our next step is we're going to want to move this out, but we have to also multiply it by a, because this bracket implies that all these terms are multiplied by 3. So I have negative 3 x squared minus 3x plus 9 over 4. Here I have minus 3 times 9 over 4 minus 13. And then if I look here, I get a perfect square trinomial. This middle term is equal to 2 times this, the square root of this. Yes. So that means, this would be negative 3x minus 3 over 2 all squared. Now we have to simplify this part. So negative and a negative is positive, so then we would have plus 27 over 4. And then if we want a common denominator, negative 13 is the same as negative 52 over 4. Multiply the numerator and denominator by 4, so minus 52 over 4. So then here we're left with y equals negative 3 x minus 3 over 2 squared, and that's minus 25 over 4. And we can just leave it like that. And now what's the vertex? The vertex is negative 3 over 2 and negative 25 over 4. So it's not always a nice number, right? Is the vertex a max or a min? Well, we look at the a value. The a value is negative 3. Now, since that's less than 0, that means the parabola is now going to look like this. So this point here is your vertex, which would be negative 3 over 2 and negative 25 over 4. And it's got a stretch factor of 3. But that means there's a maximum because it's downward facing, because it's less than 0. So I'm going to pause and get to the next page. All right, so this will be the last example I do before I refer you to the worksheet to practice. Because again, the way you get good at it is by practicing. So here, following again the same methods, put brackets around the first two terms. And if you follow the steps, even on a quiz, you'll get at least part marks for following the steps. Now we need to factor out -2/3 from both of these terms. That's where you have to get good at factoring. So what it means by factoring, basically what you've done is you've divided both by this term, or multiplied by the reciprocal. So for example, if I had -2/3 and I multiplied it by the reciprocal, that's how I'm left with 1 here. That's how I have the x squared. I don't know if this is helping. I hope it helps. Just to show you how we reduce this 8. So now the 8, if I also multiply that by the reciprocal, these cancel. So you're left with 4 here. So that's going to be -12. So that's going to be x squared minus 12x plus 5. So again, the next step when completing the square will be to take that middle, this term, if you remember, divide it by 2 and square it. So -12/2 is -6 squared is 36. So then we've got here minus 12x plus 36 minus 36 plus 5. Then we're going to be moving this out, but we also have to multiply it by the a. So it's always the same steps, and it makes more and more sense if you practice it. That's why I have to keep emphasizing, do your homework. X squared minus 12x plus 36. And now here we have minus 2/3 36 plus 5. Well, 36 divided by 3 is 12. So I'm going to go a little arrow up here. Now, here, again, we're creating a perfect square trinomial. So this one is equal to x minus 6 all squared. So then we have y equals minus 2/3 x minus 6 all squared. And now this was negative as well. So negative and a negative became a positive. So we have 2 times 12 is 24 plus 5. So we've got 29 there. So y equals -2/3 x minus 6 all squared plus 29. Now what's the vertex? Again, standard form of the equation. So the vertex, oh, I kept missing the axis of symmetry in the other examples. The vertex here would be 6, 29, for 6 and 29. The axis of symmetry, that's short for axis of symmetry, is always the x-coordinate of the vertex. So x equals 6. And is this vertex a max or a min? What do you think? So we can see our a value is -2/3, which is less than 0. So that means it's a max. All right, just to finish that, sorry. Because the a value is less than 0, this will be a max. And just to relate again this to transformations, the a value means it's vertically compressed by a factor of 2/3 and reflected in the x-axis. All right, so next thing you want to do is go to try out the homework questions. And that is posted under content on the website. Thank you.